All right, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We're off to another good start today. We've got the NASDAQ up 108, almost 0.83%. We've got the S&P 500 up 25 points to 3,900 on the dot, just about. And we got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 300 points, up to 321 or 32,132, so 32,133. So things are looking pretty good here on the start. And let's get right into, wow. What happened there? What went up big time here overnight? Ford. Just about everything is in the green already. All right, good start. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's go to Dow Jones Industrial Average first off. And again, we're up 283 on the Dow. So we are definitely off to a good start here. 1 second here. All right, so we got the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We're up 269 right now, or almost 272, up to 32,040. Let's go right into what's going on with the two we've been talking about all week, GameStop and AMC. And GameStop is already up another 13%, up 33.53 on the day, which is a great start for that stock as well. No real news on this as far as what's going on other than the buzz, and obviously it's in the news. Everybody keeps talking about it, and they're off to a really, really good start today. And then GameStop, again, they're going to report their earnings on March 23rd. So March 23rd, they report earnings. Today, after the close, we have AMC reporting their earnings as well. They're up another 10.67%, which is looking good. Up $1.15 already to 11.67. And let's go into the 30-second chart there. And we're going to take a look at earnings and take a look at what we have coming out today. I know Oracle, they report after the close as well. Whoops. Oh, we don't want Lowe's. Oracle, they're up another 79 cents today after another good day yesterday, and they're going to keep right on going here. So we have a delay on the S&P 500 heat map. Again, that doesn't kick in until 15 minutes because it is delayed by 15 minutes. But for earnings today, where's my earnings at? Here it is. Earnings for the week, and let's make that bigger so y'all can see it. There we go. So earnings today, after the close, we have AMC, Oracle, Cloudera. Those are pretty much the only three that I'm really looking at a little bit. Tupperware this morning before the open. We could take a look at what they did. For those of you that happen to be Tupperware fans at all, maybe. I don't know. Could be. Let's see. I don't really follow them, but we'll type them in and see where they came up at. There we go. Tupperware. and they are down 721. So I'm guessing their earnings came out. They report 71 cents and exceeded a little bit. Okay, so actual 65 cents off of a 37-cent estimate. But of course, a lot of what happens is companies report earnings and then they turn around and go down. So that's something that we can hope that it gets a little bit better there for them. So let's check out the Bitcoin and Ethereum on the crypto side. And Bitcoin continues its run, folks. This is incredible what this coin is doing. And what I entered in today is these are pivot points. I have a whole boatload of indicators I use depending on what kind of trades I'm making. I've got 15. I have a premium package with the trading software that I use, but they are up another 1,382. Ethereum is up as well, back up to 1839. Again, holding pretty well over the 1,800 levels, which is really good. I think I had my last buy at 1450 on Ethereum, and it's actually come back down and tested that quite a few times actually from when I made that call. I made that call a few weeks ago, and it keeps going down to that 1450 right around here, and basically turned a point of resistance into a point of support. And so that's where this was, where we called it again, dipped just a little bit below 1442 here, but on a very, very nice run. There's a buy indicator right there. If you were holding it from the buy indicator, you're sitting nice and you're already up a good 19%. So Ethereum doing very well. And again, year to date, Ethereum has actually outperformed Bitcoin by about 200%. So go figure. Actually, so it's gone very, 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 very well for them. And let's take a look at some of the other high flyers, some of the chip makers. We'll just go down the list here. And we have AMD. AMD is up 67 cents. Oil per barrel is back up again, 32 cents per barrel. Cinemark also participating in this. And look at this. People say they want to compare AMC over to GameStop. But if you look at Cinemark and then you look at AMC, not a big difference in charts there. So they're up, AMC is up 16%, it just broke 12. And there's a little bit of worry that if it hits this 1250 mark, that it'll come back and test this channel again back down to 6. I'm just simply not seeing it. We have a boatload of options expiring this coming Friday. The big play on AMC, again, this is not financial advice. This is strictly for education and for entertainment. Don't do what I do. If I talk to you about a trade I did or I'm planning on doing or looking at a stock to buy, don't do it. You're going to lose all your money. There's a disclaimer. But I do like the stock, or stonk as it were. So AMC looking very good there. Cinemark also looking good on the upside. Chevron, all the oils are up again. So CVX, which is Chevron Corporation, they're up 69 cents again, knocking on that door. They're making 52-week highs as well, and so they're doing good. Dow Jones back again. Again, we're going to have the dollar as the markets go up. The dollar is going to, the U.S. dollar is going to drop a little bit, down to 91.83. And Ford is up 37 cents today. So just more continued great news on them. There was another article yesterday on Ford on the Mach-E Mustang about how a Tesla owner drove it across the country and spent $160 doing it. You tell me. So as we get into these EV makers where you have Ford and GM and Tesla, and they're gonna solve this battery problem that they have, and they're gonna open those doors up to 500 miles on a single charge, and that's probably only a couple years away. Okay, so GM also up big time. They're up 3%. GameStop continuing its run, 292, knocking on the door of 300 here. And let's go back to the 5-minute here. Just a fantastic start for them, and some of that happened in the pre-market as well. As you can see in the pre-market, dipped a little bit off of the close yesterday, but definitely coming back here in the pre-market as well. Let's take a look at Intel. Intel is up $1.34, up little bit over 2%. They're looking pretty good too. Some of the pharmaceuticals, I cover two of them. I cover Ethereum is one, and then the other one I follow is 9 meters Biopharma, and they're up big time today. They're up 15 cents all the way up to $1.75, and Ethereum is up $1.44, basically flat on the day. We can see that the NASDAQ index composite, again, that's up 166, so doing fantastic there, which is really good. We have Microsoft, pardon me, we have Microsoft up $2.85. They're up 1.24%. And NVIDIA, another climbing above this 500 back to 515. So I like NVIDIA. I've always liked NVIDIA. I lost what I would consider a considerable amount of cash on NVIDIA when it dipped. And by dip, it's already recovered because I didn't panic. Let's see where it got down to here. Oops. Here we go. So it dipped all the way down to 461. So if you take 461 and you divide that into 516, that bad boy dipped down 11%. So correction level, maybe debatable. But I've got some calls that expire next week in the 540 range. So as it does come back, I'm gaining quicker profits. As a matter of fact, on that one today, I can look at my NVIDIAs and I can see, I bought some USO calls yesterday. Those are in the money too. Wow, nice day today. We're up almost $9,000 today. Sweet. All right, so let's go back to my NVIDIAs. Where are my NVIDIA calls? So my NVIDIA calls are up. The ones that expire next week are up. $2,100 are up a little over, let's see here, day change, 80%. So options can be dangerous. Options can be fun. Options can be dangerous, risky. You could lose everything, but those options are up 81%, 82%. My AMC options that I have $4 in the money calls that expire on March 19th are up 22%. My NVIDIA stock is, I have another option. It's up 61%, but that's a small one. My USO options, I'm up almost $1,000, or the stock is up almost $1,000 today. On that, my Microsoft options are up 16% today. My 9 Pharma is up 7.4% today. Even Rocket, we'll go into that one too, because I bought that one for the dividend. I can now sell Rocket if I want to. Palantir, finally back above that $25 range there, up $1.80 to 26.08, and that was a big psychological breakthrough for them to get above this 25 and hold it. So will they hold it? Again, that, you know, you got support down here. This 25, really good support here. It did dip below that, which is concerning. But if we have the turn here, the MACD looks pretty good. Volume looks like the bulls are slightly in charge, but you do got some bears here too. So this will be interesting to watch throughout the day as it's up almost 8%. And again, Rocket basically went record date yesterday. So yay, if you held that stock, you are entitled to a $1.11 dividend. So I have 750 shares of that. So that $832.50 will be paid out to me on March 23rd, even if I sell the stock right now. On the underlying stock right now, I have the 832 that I'm guaranteed to get. In addition to that, I'm up $338 in one account. In the other account on Rocket, let me see. The other account on Rocket, I'm up $600. So about $1,600 I'm up on Rocket, and I bought that last week, Wednesday or Thursday. I think I bought it Thursday. I bought it on Thursday at $24.89, and it's up to $26.12. So $24.89 divided into $26.12 equals. So I'm up 5% on the stock. Plus I get a dividend buy on that. So let's see, we had $24.89 times 750 equals. So it was an 18,667 buy. And so we take the 18,667. That will be a 10% return basically in 3 days. So if you can do that, that's why I love dividend stocks. Dividend stocks pay a dividend. You can front run the dividend a little bit. Obviously, it would have been better to buy it back in February when they announced it, when it was at 21. But I'm certainly happy because any gain is a gain. A profit is a profit, but a profit is once you sell. I already qualify for the dividend. That's done. I get 700 or $1.11 times 750 shares. Again, that's $832. So that's good to go too. Hey, if you have any questions, drop those in the chat. I'll be happy to answer those for you. And let's continue on here. Again, we got the S&P 500 is currently up 34 points. We have the NASDAQ is up 196, led by tech, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 298. Let's look at some of my favorites here. Boeing. Boeing is up again another $5, up to 236. Again, I had done some due diligence way back here, looking at what the floor was going to be, and it just took off from there. Hit above the 50, 200-day moving averages, as well as the VWAP, volume weighted average price. Had an overbought over here, and then oversold. You can see where these lines cross. And you can see the buy indicator down here. Actually, that down. You can see a buy indicator down here at 141, and then a sell indicator didn't kick in until 211. So could you have sold at the top? Well, maybe if you wait for the indicator, that would have been a very, very nice. Let's say you missed a candle, right? And let's say you missed the other candle, right? Still a 44% return from November to today. Or from November through December, so that would have been a really nice one. But again, it continues its upward trend here, and it's on another buy signal here on the daily chart. So back over here to what it's doing right now live. Super looking chart here, coming back, testing the VWAP here. That's what triggered another buy signal here. We have the blue just crossed the red, so this is definitely heading into northern territory again. They're already up 2.72%, 625, and this is one that I like to scalp and grab 19 cents on 1,000 shares here and there. So that's a good one to go. All right, let's look at our Treasury. Again, Treasury is trading down 16 cents, 139.59, and Tesla 710 on the button. So 710, they're up $36, up 5.5%, and we have. You'll see everything that's in the green. But first, before we do that, I do want to go over what happened with the CPI and the Consumer Price Index came out. That came out this morning. The forecast was for 0.4, and we came in at 0.4. So not bad news, not good news, flat. That's actually really good news as far as that, and that could be why we got the market going up. Watch the heat map. Watch all these turn from gray to green. Boom. There we go. So we're led by tech, Apple down a little bit, and in very dull colors here. When you see the dull colors, it's close to zero, right? Yeah, Facebook is up 0.08%, but they're in the green. Google up 0.42. Tesla, bright green, 335. Energy coming back today, which is nice to see because I hold some of that as well. You got the industrials are up again. Honeywell, with the exception of GE. GE on a slight pullback there. The financials leading it. All the chip makers are up with the exception of Micron and Skyworks and Skyworks Solutions. Everything else is up there. Again, over here you've got technology. Apple is down a little bit, but Microsoft is up. You have Disney, Netflix, Comcast, all in the green, and so definitely a nice start to the day as far as that goes. I do want to look at and let's go back to our oops, I forgot the precious metals. So again, I do participate in precious metals, silver, platinum. I don't own any palladium right now, but I do have some silver, and I do not buy the SLV. I do not buy the PSLV. This is you can call this paper silver because they don't buy the underlying from the way I understand it. They do not buy the hard silver to back when you buy this. They just participate in futures and then they hope. So spot price on silver up 11 cents, back up into the $26 range. Again, this thing is so range bound, it is ridiculous manipulation on silver. Go all the way back to July, and it just up, just sticks around. It's not right, but it is what it is. Platinum up $20.22. Did jump up a few weeks ago, back up into the $13 range, but it's been on a slight uptrend. Looks like today, which is good. So it's up $20 to $11.88. Might be knocking on the door of $1,200 again. And palladium is down $4 per troy ounce. So things are looking good for the precious metals as well. Again, Bitcoin, boy, I hope you folks own this. But here's the interesting thing. Over the last 12 months, okay, and I've been mining Ethereum since 2017, but over the last 12 months, Bitcoin is up 518%. Okay? Ethereum, remember that number, 518%, 714% on Ethereum. Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin over the last 12 months by 200%. And so I'm weighted, well, I can actually tell you my holdings in terms of, I'm not going to give you the dollar amount, but I'll give you the percentage of holdings. And I use Coinbase Pro. And mine is, I have 84.81% of my cryptocurrency holdings in Ether or Ethereum, and I have 15.18% in Bitcoin. So I'm going, call it 85% in Ethereum to 15% in Bitcoin is the way I am, is the way I'm balanced in there. It is the only two that I own, although I do now own an NFT, which is a non-fungible token, NFT, which exists on the Flow blockchain. And I bought a Zach Levine dunk from January that he had on a tip, and which was I think I paid $13 for that. I don't know if it's up since then or what the last one sold at. We can look at that here. Hold on a second. And if I go to NBA Top Shot, and we'll pull this up for you folks in a second as soon as it loads. Here we go. And I'll show you what I bought. Hey, where'd it go? Okay. I can go over here to collection. And then it's going to show mine. And this is what I bought. So I bought the digital rights to this. So I actually own everything you're seeing right here. I own. Nobody else can change it. And a little bit lagging there, but I've got all the charts and everything else open here. And if we look at the ones that are for sale by collectors, and there were 35,000 of these moments. They're called moments. So the individual video clips are called moments. And the lowest price right now is $13, which is exactly what I paid. Highest price $250. And you can actually go in here and you can scroll, and you can find everybody that's selling these things. It's $300, $43, $5,600, $5,000, etc. And it doesn't let you sort by price, so you basically have to scroll down, or you can use the page down, and so there you go. So and where's my page down at? Here it is. And you can find this is the only way you can find the lowest price on this thing, is by scrolling, and you're looking for text in the middle. And I'll keep going here until I see it. There it is. Lowest ask, number 33870 is at $13. Okay, so that's the only way to find the lowest price. And you can buy it. You can click on it like so, and then it'll change it over to here, 13, and then you can make your purchase after that. So definitely, very, very, very interesting. And it's another way to get into cryptocurrency as an asset class. And again, for taxable purposes, consult your tax advisor. I do not give tax advice, but cryptocurrency is treated as property by the IRS, which means you sell it like property. Okay. So again, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin by 200%, and over the last 12 months, I like Ethereum better than Bitcoin as a store of value. There's a lot more happening underneath the coin as far as DeFi, decentralized finance, and tokens, and all kinds of things that run on Ethereum. So definitely a good stuff there. All right, so AMC, back to AMC. We'll watch that for a moment as it climbs, makes its drive towards the stay above $12. So what are all these things I'm looking at here? And why do I have so many of them open? And why do I have, so many of these over here as far as different indicators and stuff like that? I use a charting program called TradingView, and TradingView is something that is free to start out with. So you can start, and it can be free forever if you don't want to pay for it. But some of your quotes are going to be delayed. I pay $6 a month extra, but I also have the premium package. So I pay about, I want to say it's $600 a year, plus $6 a month for the live quotes. And so that way I use this to look at different things. For example, I can come over to here. Boy, I've got some serious lag today. Not on the video, but everything else is lagging. So let's look at the heat map again. Again, definitely in the green again. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 357 right now. The NASDAQ up 164, and the S&P up 35. And let me see where I'm at on the day. I've got to click into the different accounts here. I'm up $235 in one account, $1,958 in the other account, and then my taxable account up. So I'm up $10,352 right now, and a lot of those happen to be on options. Those are on calls that I own on both 9 Pharma, USO, NVIDIA, and AMC. So I have 4 different companies that I own call options on. I don't sell any puts. Doesn't meet my risk profile in a bullish market. We are still in a bullish market, breaking new highs, but definitely a good day. I think Ethereum is the only one that I'm down on today. Every other single item that I own in my portfolio, both on the taxable and non-taxable side, and my precious metals is up today, and my cryptocurrency. So every single asset class, I'm distributed into 4 different asset classes: real estate, the stock market, cryptocurrency, and precious metals. And so some of them act as a hedge for another. So I can be a little bit more aggressive in, say, the stock market, daily trading, whether I'm scalping and looking for 19 cents to pay my bills every day, or an example of that is you can take something like Comcast, okay? And here's a good example. So this is just today. So let's say if I would have bought Comcast today, and let's say 56.47 times 1,000 shares. You say 1,000 shares, dude, that's $56,000. Yes, it is. If I take $56,000 and I follow my indicators, and right on the open, let's say I missed this candle and bought it up here, and I missed this sell candle and sold it right here, okay? That's 44 cents, right? That's $440. My bills, my actual bills, I need to make $196 in the market every day. That's it. That's my goal. That's what I try and do. I also take bills and say, okay, if I buy 1,000 shares, all I need for Comcast to pay my bill each month, which is $90, is a 9-cent move. anybody can get a 9-cent move. Look at this. You got 56.08 to 55.92, right? 56.08 minus 55.92, 16 cents, right? So you can I take things and I relate my bills and I relate goals of things that I want to buy and turn them into goals in the market and follow my indicators and follow what I have. The green is a volume weighted average price. So when you see things come back down, it'll bounce down to there. When it gets serious, it'll come down to the 50, the red and the white, the 50 and the 200 period moving average. Now I don't say 250 day moving average because that only applies on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, we're above the VWAP on Comcast, which signals a buy. We are above the 50 and 200 day moving average. The MACD shows the bulls firmly in control all the way since October on Comcast as people stayed home from work, and we're doing things like I'm doing on the computer, right? So Comcast has been really good, and I have scalped that. I try and scalp it at least once a month. Sometimes I miss a month here and there, and I try and make my $100 to pay my bill because I just think it's just so overpriced. But the good news is that there's let me see if this thing is going to run. Where are we at here? And if I can go, or not fast, speed test. Go to Ookla speed test, and it'll come. Now I've got a lot of stuff open. I've got my broker software open. I've got my charts open. I'm running Epidemic Sound. I've got my streaming software going, and let's see where we come up here. So download speed not looking very good right now because all the stuff is running. Anyway, so S&P heat map again, everything's looking really, really good in the green for us there, and so that's looking pretty good on the day. Again, we had CPI come out, Consumer Price Index came out unchanged on the day. Tomorrow we'll get initial jobless claims for state payrolls, and they're looking at that estimate is based off the period ending March 6th. They're forecasting 725,000 new claims. So we'll see what the initial jobless claims are, but they're forecasting that to go down by 20,000. So we'll see. That comes out tomorrow, and that will come out before the markets open. About an hour before the markets open, that comes out. So 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern time, and then continuing jobless claims from the February 27th job openings. Who cares? We'll look at that. PPI comes out for February. That comes out on Friday based on the CPI coming out and the core being unchanged on both for the month of February. We'll see where that lands on Friday as well. So you got some good stuff running there. So we'll leave that up for now. We'll leave the heat map up for now. But let's take a look. We got AMC still trying to claim above this $12. It's going to be an interesting end of the week here. And the reason why is because you do have quite a few options expiring on AMC this Friday. Now, the options I own, I actually have 30 call options, so I have the right to purchase 3,000 shares of AMC at $4 a share. Okay, so at $4 a share, I have the right to purchase 3,000 shares. So when the stock goes up 14% today, my underlying option that expires March 19th is actually up 20% on the day. I've got something that's called intrinsic value, and as my option gets closer to expiration next week, that intrinsic value will come into play and take the premium that I paid and equal it back down to zero. So what'll happen is that I paid what I paid for that thing, 4.46 plus $4. So I paid a $4.46 premium for the right to buy these at $4 a share. So my cost basis is $8.46 per share, okay, minus $11.96. So let's say they were expiring today, and I said I'm gonna exercise, I want to own the shares. I would be up $350 per share times 3,000. I would be up $10,500 on that buy. Okay, not bad. But that's if it holds. It could drop right back down to 7. It could drop right back down to 6. Or it could go up to 20. It could go up to 30. It could go up to 100. We'll see. It's a crapshoot right now. But that option right now is up $3,900 today because it's already in the money. But as the underlying stock goes up, my option value goes up because it's leveraged. It will go up greater than the amount of stock. Now that works on the downside too. And the way that works on the downside is, okay, I'm going to make 10,000 on that, but let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is at 517. Now, on NVIDIA, I have 2 sets of call options. I have one set that I paid $2,200 for, and it is one call option at 570. Okay, so I paid $2,200. Right now, it's worth $193. Yes, I lost a couple grand on that right now, but I didn't lose anything because I haven't sold that option yet. I just have the right to buy 100 shares of NVIDIA at 570. My other call options, however, I have 9, so I have the right to buy 900 shares of NVIDIA at 540. So I'm negative on that one too. So that one I'm down like $14,000 on. But it's up $1,700 today. So that it's back up to, I can sell it right now for $4,300, where I can sell my AMC for $23,000. I bought 2 calls on that don't expire until January of 2022 on U.S. oil at what were those at? Those were at I want to say $57. Yeah, $57. Do I think it's going to go up to $57 at some point between now and next January? Yes, I do. But that only cost me, $700 for those options. So no, I'm sorry, $381. So my cost on those 2 options were $381. It gives me the right to buy 200 shares of USO at 57, which would be about $11,400. So I'm leveraging buying a call option because I'm bullish on the stock, or the exchange traded fund, the ETF in USO's case, and those work differently. They issue a K1 each year, so for tax purposes, consult your tax advisor. I'm not it, but I have to pay both realized or unrealized capital gains on ETFs. So make sure you understand the tax consequences if you invest in any type of ETF. Or you could turn around and buy just a regular stock and participate in the oil surge, because that's what it's doing. ExxonMobil, and the other one I like is Chevron. The hiccups today. All right, so just to recap, right now we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average is sitting pretty. It is up. These are live quotes, by the way. 32,147, up 314, and so it's about 50 points off of another absolutely 52-week high again, which it hit earlier this morning, not too long ago. So it's sitting pretty good as well. We have the S&P 500 index is up 28 points to 3903, and then we have the NASDAQ composite is also up 135 points to 132.09. Let's take a look at GameStop real quick here. So looking like it's really good here. But also one of the things I also want to show you again is down here on the bottom of my screen, I have 2 different charts for y'all. And what those 2 charts are is we have the S&P 500, okay? That's this guy here. So when we talk about the S&P being up to 3903, 3904, that's over here, and you can see those numbers if you can read those on the screen. I know they're probably hard to see, but it just tells you what it is. And what I'm doing here is these are just clean charts to give the overall view of the market and what it's doing. So I don't have any indicators turned on these charts. Now the one on the bottom, you say, well, hey, this one's going up, this one's going down, or consolidating, etc. This is the volatility index. And it's something that these two are something that before I place a buy. So let's say, for example, AMC. And I like AMC. It's pulled off of its high. Okay. So this is a 30-second chart. So I'll check the 3-minute chart. And we are on a buy in the pre-market actually. So let's say you bought it on the open here at 11.12. That would be a 7% gain, okay, over where it's at right now. And it didn't say sell yet. So it came all the way up to 1247, and the indicators that I use did not say sell yet. And maybe at some point I'll get into those indicators of what I use. However, what this means is this. Let's say it hit this buy signal here, but boy, the RSI shows us overbought. But look at the MACD. The moving average convergence divergence. Look what happens when the blue line crosses the red on an uptrend. It has not crossed over here yet. So because it has not crossed, we do not have a sell signal on the on AMC at this point, even though it's above its volume weighted average price, the green line, VWAP, or its 50 and 200 period moving average. So this red and white line represent 50 and 200 periods of 3 minutes each. So each candle represents 3 minutes. So then you can take a look at, well, let's go out further and let's look at the 30-minute. And it gets a little harder because you're looking, now these are multiple days. This is aftermarket yesterday. This is during the day yesterday. This is pre-market this morning, which runs 5.5 hours from 1 o'clock in the morning my time until the market opens at 6:30 in the morning. The pre-market, I can buy in that. Check with your broker whether you're able to participate in after hours or pre-market trading. But you know what I take, and then I'll look at the S&P and I'll say, well, the VWAP is heading up a little bit. The S&P is heading down a little bit. Is this a good time to buy? Well, on the 30-second, I have a buy indicator here. The bulls, looks like there's more green candles of volume above the sell candles here, so the sentiment is bullish on the stock, but it's hitting the 30-second VWAP here. Let's see where it's at on the 3-minute. Boy, if I buy it, maybe I'm better off buying it at 11.42 and the VWAP, and let's see if it comes back down to there on the 3-minute. Right, we're into a slightly getting almost into an overbought condition, and the MACD, the blue line, is about to cross on the red line. So now I'll go back to 30-second. I'll look at the S&P 500 and I'll say, well, that's heading down. I'm buying diddly jack right now. I'm gonna wait, and what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for a turn. Now on the way down, the S&P 500 will drop before the volatility goes up, but usually the volatility will go down before it goes up. So look at this. I'm complete opposites here. These are basically opposing views. So AMC is heading down here initially, and let's see what I would do. Now it's still on a 30-second buy indicator, but again, on a 30-second chart, I don't use that buy indicator. I'll go over here to the 3-minute. I happen to like the 3-minute pretty good, and I'll look at this. And on moving averages. Actually, my moving averages, I do not use a 200 period. I use a 180, and I'll tell you why. If I go over to a daily chart, by using a 180, bad example. Let me look at Boeing. There we go. If I look at a 50 and 200 day moving average, the 200 would be below this. It gives me an opportunity to possibly get into or out of a stock a little bit earlier and to take my profits quicker than using a 200 period average. So back to the S&P 500, looking super green here. So on something like an AMC, where I'm looking at a 3-minute chart, and I could even watch these down to 1 second. So I could take my charts. I pay extra for this, but this is basically a live view of AMC, what it is doing by the second. And you do not want to trade off of this. But look at that. It looks like it's going down huge, right? Oh, it's crashing. It's crashing. No, it's not. Look at the 30-second. Look at the candle. Yes, it's coming down. Our indicators told us to wait. Don't buy it yet. Take a look at what's happening with it. The S&P is pulling back. The Dow is pulling back. The VIX is now holding steady. We might have a turn here. We have a doji down here on the S&P 500. So let's look at the SPX. And look at the S&P 500. It's down to, on the 30-second, it's down to its 5,200 period. It's dipping below. So this right here, this is the 200 average would be at this line right here that it bounced off of. But my signal tells me, hey, if you're going to buy, this might be okay to buy. The blue might be crossing the red. The volume is kicking in a little bit. If we go to the SPY, okay, which is an ETF, okay, it crossed over here. Is it starting to come back up? Will this blue cross this red? Let's watch this. So let's watch this on the 30-second on the SPY. And let's see, because this will give us volume. The S&P, if I look at the SPX, I don't get volume on an index. It doesn't show me what it is. But people that are trading the index itself do it on the SPY. And the SPY is an ETF. And so I can get volume. And what the volume tells me is, okay, bulls are in control, more green than red. Okay, but then the bears come in. So what happens on the green candles going up? Well, if this green volume is not greater than the prior sell volume, the red, then you're going to go back to red. You're not going to hit green again until the green's volume supersedes the red volume. The blue line crosses the red and it bounces back above these. But on a 3-minute, we're still well above them. But again, bears are in control, right? The MACD is a fantastic symbol. I highly recommend, if you have that in your software, your trading software, to go ahead and use that, because we got a little slight pullback in the market now. Let me check breaking news here. And let's see, AerCap to buy GE's aircraft leasing unit for $30 billion. Wow, GE's getting out of the aircraft leasing business. Crazy. U.S. consumer prices rise, solidly underlying inflation tame. House set for final approval of the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 bill, an early win for the new administration. Dow hits record high as inflation fears recede after data, CPI. GameStop, other meme stocks soar. We know that. As markets eye stimulus. Look, the reason why all this is bullish right now, you heard the sell, you heard the buy on the rumor, stimulus checks. They're going to mail out $1,400 to every one of you that make $75,000 a year or less, or $150,000 a year if filing jointly. Okay. Sell on the news. Okay. Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. In this case, the stimulus, buy on the fact that they're going to sign this bill, but then you're going to have a week delay before the people get those checks. And a lot of the prior stimulus didn't go into buying new TVs. It went into paying down debt. It went into student loans, and it flowed into the equity markets and cryptocurrency. That's where that money's going, folks. These people are not taking that $1,400 to pay their mortgage or their rent. Most people are taking that money and they're putting it into this. They're putting it into the markets. Okay, so that, if you look at having that ability to say, oops, trying to log me out of my software. If you're looking at the ability to what you're going to do with your money. Everybody is saying that they expect you to put it back into the market. Okay. All right. So big time change. We had a little turn here on some of the techs. AMC pulling back off of its high on the day, but again, still up 10%. Got about 1247, but we definitely have some negative sentiment. Little slight sell off here. The Nasdaq and the S&P are barely up. S&P is up 0.5%. Nasdaq is only holding on to a 0.37% gain. So again, we're 15 minutes behind. Watch this turn the heat map. It'll turn, a little bit duller. There you go. So again, as the bright green turns into we'll call it the pale green, make sure you hydrate. Me, it's 1 cup of coffee per day. then I'll hit the water. But you still have Tesla up 3.68%, but it's off its high of the day. Microsoft off its high of the day. Google off of its high. Financials are still doing good. Energy is doing really, really well right now. You got Valero up 4%. I don't buy Valero. They're too connected to Venezuela. ExxonMobil and Chevron looking really good as well. And then my USO, because oil, if you look at oil is back up again. Up 40 cents a barrel to 64.41, and it just continues and continues and continues its trend upwards off the low back in April. So this thing has gone from $20 a barrel, call it 19. You know, at its low, forget about this wick all the way down here. That's somebody doing something stupid. But it hit $4.92 a barrel on the 30th of April. And now it's at $65 a barrel. So oil per barrel price has increased a lot. What is that, 11? 1181%. Okay. Crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. So it's up over 95% in the last year. So over the last year, only because it's including this stuff in here too. But so with that, my favorite ETF is also up 36 cents. This is a leveraged futures oil contract limited partnership. So it pays off the K1s, which you can go and review on their site at any time. If I type in US oil ETF into my DuckDuckGo search browser, and let's see here. I think ETF.com. Here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. And there's some other oil ETFs that are out there as well. But USO is the one that I participate in. Hey, where's it at on here? There we go. And okay, so I like things that are beaten down, and this was beaten down. I don't ever click on these privacy things, but this came out in April of 2006. It is a commodities pool, carries an expense ratio of 0.79%. So there are some index funds that carry 1% fees. Average spread 0.03. Average daily volume trades about 210 million, and this has 3.57 billion dollars of assets in it. And you can see it's done really well over the last year. So could it be at a high? The net asset value has gone up over the last year. Year to date, now over the last year, it's down 42%, but it's been on a big upswing, and that's because of over the last year, all this. If you take from year to date, it's up 34%. The last 3 months, it's up 40% over the last 3 months. So they're looking more at the oil indices and looking at that and what do they trade. Let's see here. Open interest. You know, you've got 1,315,000 either call or put options out there. Straddles, ladders, combos, condors, butterfly swaps, whatever. It's got 1.3 million options contracts that are traded on it. I just own 2 of those. So I own 2 of those out to January of 2022 at a strike price of $57 is what I own on the 2 US oil. But I also own almost 2,000 shares of the underlying that have done very, very well. Tradability. Options. You know, you can go in options here and it'll give you a trading strategy. Basically, this is kind of like a let's see, drag to change. Oh, there we go. So if I'm looking at here. So here's an example. So looking at this, it's saying a 1/21/2022. And which one did I buy here? Hold on a second. Okay, I bought the $57 call on 1/21/2022. I paid $1.90 for that, and right now the 55 is at 210. If I go into, let me see what that option is selling for right now. The ask is 223. So 2.20, so $1.90 divided with 2.23. I'm already up 15% on my option buy that goes all the way out to January of 2022. So as the underlying stock goes up, my option value will go up with it, but at a greater percentage. So it's up 15. It's up 15 cents. What did I buy that Monday? I think I bought whatever day I bought it. Whether it was, I thought it was Monday. Hold on, I can tell you. It was yesterday. When you have a lot going on, you have to look at the date you bought things. I made one trade yesterday. That's it. And the only thing I bought was 2 USO option calls, strike price $57, all the way out to 1/21/2022. It's trading, the ask is at $2.23 right now. I paid $1.91 for my 2. So I'm up like 15% on those options. Don't get bogged down on the math though, because those options only ran me like $380. So it's the right to buy 200 shares at $57 a year from now. But I'm basically, I don't know that I bought that to hold on to the shares. They estimate that 85% of all options people exit out of them before they hit the date. For example, my AMC options that I'm up $2,700 on today, I have 30 call options to purchase 3,000 shares at $4 that expire March 19th, which is next week. Okay, those are in the money big time right now. I don't know that I'm going to hold those to expiration and actually get the right and actually purchase those 3,000 shares. I might roll that option out further. It depends on what AMC does through this Friday. Really, what happens up to this Friday. I may turn around and take my profit on it this Friday. I don't know yet. But the underlying stock looks super good. But with US oil, you can do options on an ETF, which is a lot riskier than on a stock, because you have to understand how an ETF works. So if you really want to understand how an ETF works, and maybe we'll do a learning process on it. But ETF University, if you go to ETF.com, make sure you understand what you're buying. Okay, and maybe we'll do one on this. But they have a great education center over there, and ETF basics, the dictionary, frequently asked questions. Like the biggest thing that people do not understand about ETFs versus a mutual fund, etc., is what is the tax implications. So I think here's live chat. No, we don't want live chat. I don't want live chat. ETF taxes. Here we go. Oh, this is a video series. All right, so we're gonna pause that. We're not gonna watch that. It's 8 minutes long, but what it's going to tell you is that these distribute K1s, and you have to pay the gains as you make them. But again, ETF.com, it's a great website for learning what an ETF does. Semiconductor ETFs versus Bitcoin. This came out yesterday, so there's research on them. So defines new ETF taps into hydrogen-based energy. If you're into that, the rock stars of indexing, everything you read on this site is going to be positive, and it's going to try and lead you toward buying ETFs in the basket. Kathy Wood on the tech ETF. A lot of EV stuff in there, a lot of Tesla in there. And boy, the market just continues to get hammered here, heading back south. But it's something that you can learn a lot of what the differences are in ETFs. Where ARK, ARK is the Kathy Woods one, and it rebounded huge yesterday. ARKK. So let's look at ARK because that was an interesting one. But before I do that, real quick, let's take a quick look at Nvidia. Heading south. You had gains, got all the way up to 519, now back down to 503. GameStop still up $42, almost 17% on GameStop, and AMC is up 80 cents, up 7.6%. So let's look at ARK. And you say, well, what's going on? I think it's crashing, it's heading down, it's heading south. Oh no, what do I do? Well, it rebounded pretty good. But she's off of her highs, and she runs this ETF, okay? So off of the high, $126.85, right around there. Just today, it's down, 4% swing, okay? But I want to look at the daily. Sorry about that. That's what I want. 159.70. So off her last top, 159.70, an all-time high. It's down 23%. All these green candles, these people bought. Somebody paid $159.70, and they're down 23% right now. But it's giving a buy signal on the daily. Okay, what's it doing on the 30-minute? On a buy signal, but once you get down to the 5-minute, on a solid sell, my favorite before I buy something. Still on a sell of 124.15, and you're saying, okay, well, where's support at on this thing? You have to go out a little bit further. Let's go out to the 15-minute, and you say, well, it'll probably won't find support until 118. So it's got another $3 or so to the downside. So if you were looking to buy back in, if you like what happened in the recovery yesterday and you think it's going to continue, 119 would be, if I was going to buy it, that's kind of where I would be looking at as far as a dollar range. I'm not interested in buying her ETF. I think it's way overvalued right now. But let's face it, there's people that made a lot of money in this. She's up 162% over the year, but year to date, she's down almost 1%. So since January 1st, she's down. And a lot of that has to do with our friends over here at Tesla. And Tesla, here's the thing about Tesla. Tesla's still a great company. Elon Musk, he knows what he's doing. He put in a profit. I actually sold mine at 663 back in December. I did not participate in the run up to 900. I wish I had, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I made a very, very nice profit on that stock. So I'm not kicking myself at all because I took profit on it, and I didn't lose from 900 back all the way down to zero, or back down to below 663, my sell price. But would I buy Tesla right now? I think you are better off buying either Ford or GM. I tend to like I tend to like Ford better than GM. But it's basically almost at its 52-week high as well. But definitely I like Ford over GM. And let's take a look here. S&P starting to head back north again. On the 3-minute looks good. The blue has not crossed the red yet. Come back down to VWAP. Let me look at the 30-second on Ford. And we're on a buy signal on Ford. Let's see here. And whoops, I don't want options on that. Actually, I might buy some options on this. And I can take, let's see, 500 shares, 1280. Let me look at the 3-minute. I might take a scalp here today. Yeah, it's not. Doesn't quite. I'm looking down here. So when I look off to the right, I'm looking at the S&P 500. I'm looking at the VIX. Volatility is coming back down. That's good. S&P is going up. I'll look for confirmations. It's on a sell signal on the 3-minute, so it doesn't meet my rules for buying, even though the 30-second says buy, 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 buy. Your buy volume on the 30-second is slightly, barely above. So this is battling, and this is basically called consolidation. So it's on a buy signal here at 1279. I don't know that that meets my criteria just yet for a buy, so I'm not going to make the trade. It doesn't meet my rules. I have rules for when I trade. If it does not meet those rules, I do not buy. So we can watch that live. We can look at the 30-second though, and there you go. As soon as I clicked off screen and said I ain't buying at 1280, it popped up on a 30-second, a sell indicator. So we can watch this here live a little bit, and let's see what happens with Ford. So Dow is still up 300 points. Again, it's starting to turn back north again. S&P 500 is up 19 points, almost a 0.5%. The NASDAQ, which was up 1%, is now only up 0.28%. It's up 37 points, up to 13,111. S&P is at 38.95, up 20 points. And the Dow is up 300 points to 32,134. Now, interesting here, you can't see it probably on my chart because it's a little bit big, but you can see on here on the 30-second, the blue just took off. On the red, there's a buy signal there. Let's go to the 3-minute. The bears are not quite done yet. Doji, that's actually a very, very good sign. That is a very good sign. Turning red there, but that's on the 3-minute. And we got 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Let's see what happens here on this candle. It's fighting. Upswing on the 3-minute. There we go. You know, it says buy. I did not buy anything yet. And S&P just turned a red candle on the 30-second. 1282. This is consolidation. This is getting into the late morning here. Coming up on almost approaching the lunchtime hour in New York. Look at the 3-minute. 3-minute probably looks better now. Blue still below the red. But look at this, green line VWAP. Nice little bounce there, actually. Yeah, I probably should have taken that trade, but I didn't. But that's okay. I'm in enough stuff today. So on the 3-minute, if this candle flips and we get one more over here, see, now you're making higher lows, but you're not necessarily making higher highs yet. Okay, a little bit here. On the 30-second, it's going to look great. 30-second says, oh, you should have bought over here. Moon soon. Over the averages, blue over the red. So now this is confirming it. And we're only talking 3 cents away. So it's 500 shares, I'm talking about $15. Actually looks good. Okay, little pull there. And actually, I'm going to look at, while this is running, I'm actually going to look at the options chains. Because I think I'm going to go options on Ford. And let's go out to April. The monthly 38 days, April 16th. want the out of the money options. So 13, 14s. And what I'm looking at here is 41 cents. Is so I'm looking at 200 call options, and I'm going out a month. Thirteens are 74 cents. Yeah, I'm not buying those. The $14 one though. You see the open interest here. Yeah, it's funny. I look at options and I look at strike prices, and a lot of times, I look at a number and I look at the possibilities. Like I'm looking at the April 16th $14 call option on Ford, and it's got open interest of 26,000 contracts. The $15 is 14,000. The $13 is 20,000. So it looks like everybody's looking at the same one. And okay, we've had a turn. I have not made any buys on Ford. I did not buy the stock because it never met, nor did it hit my rules for the 3-minute where the blue would cross the red, and we're above the VWAP here. So because we're above the VWAP is good, but the bears are still in control. The volume was very, very light compared to the last little run here on the 3-minute when it ran up to the 1298. So it didn't quite meet my criteria for buying. So now I'm looking basically a month out at options. And I could buy an in the money option. Why do that? You can buy out of the money options. So again, I'm looking at the let's see here. Something's goofy here. It's not putting my price. So again, looking at Ford, still looking at 3-minute, hasn't crossed yet. It's narrowing the challenge on the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. So we're still watching it, and I'm looking at doing a purchase here, but I'm looking at actually the call options. So There we go. All right, let me go back over to Ford. And no, I'm not looking for the Januaries. I'm looking for the Aprils. So April 16th calls on Ford. And we're looking at the out of the money strike prices. And let's say I get, there we go, that's reasonable. Actually, what's up? 25. 25 call options at 50. There we go, at 40 cents. Out to April at 14. So 12.83 divided into 14. Do I think it will make an 8% move in a month? So now I go down here. I say, okay, well, they're going to report on April 28th. So at a loss, let's go to Earnings Whisper. And I'm going to type in, so, oh, I want, oops. So they report their earnings on April 28th. The last one they did, they did 34 cents reported earnings, and the Whisper number was 1 cent. So they exceeded by big time EPS surprise. Revenue surprise of 9.5%, even though revenue growth was down because of the pandemic. Ford raises planned investment in EV/AV leadership to $29 billion. Further advances turnaround of global automotive business. That's the thing about Ford. It's not only the best-selling truck here; it's the best-selling truck in the world, the F-150. Something's turning red now. S&P turn around just a little bit. Okay, 12.85 on Ford. All right, let me take a look here. Let's see here. April 16, $14. Minute. It wants to turn. Let's see if we can pick these up. Okay, we're in. All right, so I just bought 50 call options for Ford at $14 is the strike price. Expiration date April 16th of 2021. So I've got 38 days on that. And hey, stock is up to 12.86. I'm already profitable on it. I made like $1. And so that wasn't a lot. My total buy on the Ford was right around $2,000. So when you're buying an option, okay, you're buying the right, but not the obligation to purchase the stock at a set price on a set date. So you're basically placing a bet. And so the stock is at 12.86. Now they report earnings on April 28th. I'm very bullish on Ford. I've been bullish on Ford. They came in and beat their earnings last time, but the estimate is for 11 cents per share. So we'll see what happens April 28th, but my options expire a week before that. So we'll have some sales figures before then. Yeah, I'm already profitable on it. Yay! I can sell it right now and make a profit. Where we at here, 40? Why is that thing jumping around here? Okay. And we're just about to get our confirmation on a buy for the stock as well on the 3-minute. The 30-second here is going to look great. Okay. So if I was looking to buy the actual stock, I probably would have bought it, but I'm more interested in the option play. And it's on the 3-minute, it's about to cross. Now we start looking this at 1281. So again, my 1,000 shares times 1281 equals $12,810. So off of 1281, it's now at 1289. So I would already have made $80, and I could exit that trade right now at $12.90, $90. So each penny on 1,000 shares would be $10. So, but again, so there's that. So there's the confirmation. So there's you can call that a cross, but very solid buy signal. And Nasdaq, or I'm sorry, S&P 500 uptrend, volatility downtrend. Blue line really crossing the red line here above the VWAP. So this says this would be a good trade, even at 1289 to buy. But I did not buy shares. I bought call options for April for the $14 call option. And that's 38 days of volatility that I'm buying on the stock. So and on that one, I bought that one to really maybe hold on to it for a couple of weeks. I don't think I'll go much longer after folks spend their stimulus checks on stocks, because they will, because they've already done it. The how many stimulus checks have people got? I don't know, because I don't get them. 2 or 3. I forget how many stimulus checks. I tend not to pay attention since I'm not getting them. But those of you that are getting the 1,400, chances are the majority of you are putting it right into the stock market. This screen or this screen. So 1288. So still on the 3-minute. Now we watch the 30-second. So let's say if you would have bought that thing. Doji turn up here. That's called a doji. That cross right there. Consolidating. But we're getting close to lunchtime here. The smart ones in New York, they just left for lunch. They like to get their seats at the restaurants at 11 o'clock in the morning in New York. When I worked for Merrill Lynch back in the day, 11 o'clock we would go to lunch, even in Chicago, because we can get in there before the lunch crowd. But the places we went to, I was with people that had preference, we'll just call it that, and could usually get an easy seat for us. But that was back in the day. There's a nice breakout here on a 30-second. 3-minute, again, you're going to see all green candles here on the 3-minute chart. Solid buy signal, solid new candle to the upside. So that looks good. 1292. So it was at 1284 when I bought the options. I'm already it's already up $67, $92. My option is already up 4%. So I'm already up 4% right now on that option, where the underlying stock is up 2.85% on a day. But 1281 divided into 1293 is up about 1%. My option, however, that I purchased on them, I'm up $92 on. I'm up 4.42% on that buy I just did 5 minutes ago. If I didn't have other investments, and let's say I bought 5,000 options, and that is now up to 44 cents times 0.44. 100, 0.44 minus 0.41, 3 cents times. I'd be up quite handsomely. So those options I'm already up 4% on. Overall, my total today, so let's take, I'm actually up in my taxable portfolio. I'm up 3.61% today with the way I have my stuff allocated. And that's some Microsoft call options. That's some Rocket stock that I bought for the dividend. That's up $200. My U.S. oil is up today. That's up $400. My NVIDIA options are up quite a bit. And my AMC options are up quite a bit. My pharmaceutical company, NMTR, 9 Pharma, is up just a tad, 0.31% on that. And then my Iterum is down almost 7% on my shares. That one might end up being a loss for me down the road. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to hold on to it. But my NMTR options, those expire next week. So we'll take a look at those pretty much next week, a little bit later on Friday, because I want to see what the open interest is on those. So I may check them tomorrow. But for now, I'm not looking to exit out of those at all. GME, GameStop still holding on to its gains, up 45, almost 18%. And our other buddy here, AMC, holding on to its gains, up 13%. But back to Ford. So on the 30-second, sell signal on the 30-second, you're not going to see that on the 3-minute, because the S&P 500, nice little channel here. If you drew a line, say from here up through here, that looks okay. You can extend it out. So we'll see here. 3908. Let's see, SPX. Maybe. But that definitely looks good. Let's see, NVIDIA. Still up $8. 509, that looks pretty good. Tesla is up as well. And Tesla is up $16. Well, a little bit off of its high, though. I think 689 divided into, what's its high end of the day? 717. 4% move off the high. So off of the high of 717.85, down 4% since that point, which was pretty much right at the open. So I'm up 3.6% today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 1.15%, up 364 points. The NASDAQ is up 62 points, up 0.49. And the S&P is up 0.66, which is 25 points. And I'm up today because USO is up, NVIDIA is up, 9 Pharma, barely up, came down though. Ford is up, 1291, looking good there. That was a good buy. And AMC is up. And oil up 31 cents. Did that pull back just a little hair? Yeah, it did, just a little bit. Yeah, it's pulled back 60 cents or so. 65 cents, 64.29 minus 64.96. It's pulled, yes, it pulled back 67 cents off of its high. Oil did. Okay, Ford, back to Ford. Would I buy the stock itself at $12.90? Long term, absolutely. This is going to be a $15, $20 stock over the next year. 12 divided into 20 is a 40% return. Crazy. You could typically talk about returns of, yeah, I made 10% in the market this year, right? And I'm talking about a 40% return over a year. And why? Simple, but not simple. I like the stock because it's freaking Ford. It is Ford. I think they're going to blow through this. I think they're going to blow through the 2010, 2014. Their CEO is socially conscious. He is big on the environment, big on EV. Not only big on EV, but huge on EV. And again, if you look at the difference between the websites. Let me show you the difference between GM and Ford. A lot of people say, oh, GM, everybody in, they're going to do well. You know, we do electric vehicles. Let me find their electric vehicles. Here we go. Electric vehicles for all. Here's the difference. Look at this for a second. Just consider this for a second. You're GM and you're promising to make all your vehicles electric. And you're going to come to your website and you're going to have, this is a pro surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack. And apparently she's one of the spokespeople for GM. So good for her. All they're showing you is their battery base. And they're pushing the fact that, yes, their Ultium base, the Ultium platform, we're going to use this for all of our cars. And we're going to use it for our trucks. Okay. I guess. Hummer? Not buying a Hummer. Show me the car. Don't show me a freaking base of people standing on a battery pack that does nothing. And then you say, okay, so let's look at what do we have for electric vehicles. Chevrolet, their biggest bestseller. So now we're going to drive down. The Bolt. That's what they have. They have the Bolt. And the Bolt, okay, they're not going to show prices on this thing. No, they're trying to give away money. Let's go to vehicles for a second. And let's go the $41,415. Okay. So look at this for a second. Okay, so this is their Bolt. Electric range on a full charge. EPA estimate 259 miles. Forget whatever. 259 miles. That's the range on basically a very, very subcompact. They're showing a person over here. You can see how small these tires are on this car. You can see how small these doors are on this car, and you won't find a lot of images with people standing next to the thing because they're going to be towering over it. But look at what I had to do just to get to that model, to that electric vehicle. And again, as shown, decent looking vehicle, $42,505. Remember that price right here, $42,505. Okay, for 259 miles, $42,505. All right. Now we're going to go over to Ford.com. Now remember, we're looking at electric vehicles. Remember how many clicks it took me to get to the Bolt. While that's loading, Dow's up 375. NASDAQ holding on to its gains up 52. S&P holding on to its gains, turning towards north at 2561. Now you go to Ford's website. Proud to be the 2021 North American Truck and Utility Vehicle of the Year. Is that Car and Driver, right? I think. TM. Who's it? Where's that? Airbag recalls. Yeah, join the club. They all got them. Okay. The 2021 Ford F-150 and the 2021 Mustang Mach-E. They came out with the Bronco. Look at this lineup. The Chevy Bolt is smaller than the 2020 Escape. You can get the hybrid on the Escape for less money than the Bolt. The Bronco they came out with. But check this out. 2021 Mustang. Now remember, Chevrolet's got the Bolt. And GM, let me click on it. Hey, goofy mouse. GM is at 52-week highs. Okay, they're killing it. $56 a share. What I'm telling you, though, is Ford is going to outperform them, and here's why. This thing right here. Okay, so what did the Bolt have? The Bolt had, for $42,505, you got 259 mile range, 200 horsepower. Okay, 200 horsepower, 259 mile range. The Ford, $42,895, gets a 300 mile range, so you're getting 41 miles more. All right, and that doesn't include the $7,500 federal tax credit, but you get that on the Bolt as well. Okay, they're taking orders for this thing. This vehicle is going to clean Tesla's clock. Nobody's going to buy a Chevy Bolt when they can buy a Ford Mustang that looks like this for the same price. Not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not. So they're only taking reservations right now. But look how easy that was. You go to their website, and you simply, it's there. And what does it tell you? Hey, we've got the best truck. We've got the best all-electric vehicle. They are literally taking market share from Elon Musk and Tesla. That's what they're doing. They're stealing market share from Tesla. And I want to go drive this thing. I really want to go put a camera in the car and see who has one to go demo. Because it's an awesome looking vehicle. It's gorgeous. Even their Bronco. Now what I've heard is the Bronco, a lot of people think it's small, but they've got a bunch of different models of it. So they've got an extended one. There we go. The base and the big bend. Mainstream off-roading. So, but these are expensive, folks. They are expensive. Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, First Edition. Sold out. Badlands, Extreme Off-Roading. I don't know if they give a price on this. Off-roading in style. Adventure off-roading. Okay, let's look at the Black Diamond. I don't know if it gives price or not. Oh, hey, this is what I want. It's just showing me a picture. I don't know if they give pricing out here or not. It doesn't look like they do, but they've sold out. They've sold out of reservations for their new Bronco. The F-150 is going to turn into an all-electric vehicle. They came out with the Mustang Mach-E. I still believe in it. I think it's a much better play than GM. Do I think it's a better play than Tesla? I think they are going to take market share from Tesla. That's who's going to take it. It's not going to be GM. It's going to be Ford is going to take it. So much so that if I go to Elon Musk, Twitter, Ford, and I'm good at searching stuff for some reason. All right, we'll go to USA Today. We'll see. It says Elon Musk trolls GM Chrysler on Twitter. Ford CEO responds with one word. Okay, so this is the CEO of Ford. Okay. Oh, by the way, he's also a race car driver. Those 24-hour ones, and instead of doing it with a partner, or a co-driver, he drives the whole darn thing himself. His grandfather used to work in the factories at Ford, and now he's CEO. All right, so here's the tweet. This is Elon Musk. Whoops. All right, it's going to take us to the tweet. Close that out. Get out of here. Read the tweet. This is from Elon Musk, and this is on March 5th. Tell me who he's worried about. He's not worried about GM. Tesla and Ford are the only American car makers not to have gone bankrupt out of thousands of car startups. Prototypes are easy. Production is hard, and being cash flow positive is excruciating. That's Elon Musk. Okay. The Ford CEO, Jim Farley, who's been CEO since October 1st, one word: respect. I don't know why I just opened that up. Mustang and Racing CEO. Spot on. Ford is backed by Ford Family Fortune. Agreed. Props to you both. Have a great weekend. This guy, Jim Farley, he took over on October 1st. If you don't think that this is going to be a change, a fundamental change in the way their business operates and why they hired this guy, look at the weekly chart. October 5th, it put a buy signal on Ford. What has it done since then? Let me go to the daily, and I'm going to move this out to October 1st. Whoops. Here we go. Here's the buy signal. So he took over on the 1st. Let's say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I like this guy. What's he done since then? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. But the share price on Ford has increased 90% since October 1st, since the day he took over. 669 is just about doubled in that time frame. I've owned it the whole time. I have 5,000 shares of Ford in my retirement account. I also now have 50 call options on Ford to expire in April. Strike price $14, and I'm up $92 on that. 90%. Bronco F-150. Here's why. You have the Bronco plus the Explorer. You have the Mustang Mach-E. And you have the F-150. Go over to electrified. Hybrids. All electric. Mustang. F-150. They have a hybrid available. Okay. Explorer. They have a hybrid available. All electric Mustang Mach-E. They gave this thing the Mustang moniker. They gave it the badge. They gave it the freaking badge. And that's it's certainly not in this. You think that's going to compete with the Mustang? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You can't even find their electric vehicle stuff on their site. You go to GM.com and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, GM's up big. They're big into electric. Oh, here we go. Here's a link. Electric vehicles. Let's click on that. Show me the money. Show me the car. No, I'm going to show you a surfer. I'm going to show you an engineer or a CEO. I forget. I don't even know who the CEO is. I think it's her. Could be. And she's going to show you the base. Nothing but a bunch of batteries sitting on 4 wheels. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? This is what you're all in on? You are all in on 4 tires and a bunch of batteries by calling it Ultium. Great name. It is. It's a fantastic name. They're just going to show you the base. Well, if you believe in GM, you like Chevys, which I'm a Ford guy over Chevy. I admit it. I'm biased. 100% biased. Not financial advice. Don't do what I do. If you put any dollars into Ford, you're going to 100% lose them because it's going to zero. If you follow my advice, you're going to lose money. My money's on this guy, Jim Farley. My money is on, he can troll them all he wants. Why does Elon Musk feel the need to troll GM, Chrysler, and Twitter? And he's on Twitter, which is hilarious. He's taken the company and basically in the 3 years that he ran Steelcase office furniture, he wasn't on Twitter at all. He races cars. He's a CEO. His grandfather worked in the plants at Ford. Okay, his wife is in a band with a bunch of people, and he tweeted her band a song. I forget what the song was. I watched it last week, I think, when I was doing my due diligence again on Ford, and this guy's got it. That it factor, that thing you look for in somebody to manage and run a company. I'm telling you right now, Jim Farley has got it. So much so, he's got it so much. If you think that Elon Musk is worried about GM or Chrysler, he's not. He's worried about Ford. And if you look at the month-over-month sales, Ford is directly taking stuff from Tesla. But check this out. Tesla owner drives Ford Mach-E across country. This came out yesterday, I think. I read so many news stories, I forget when they come out. Here we go. I think it was yesterday. 33 minutes ago. So I tried to read this story on the Detroit Free Press, and it had paywalls up. I don't do it. There's a couple things I can do to possibly look at the story. I'll show you a trick here that I use, because I'm not paying for this stuff, because they're basically ads. If I click on the three dots here, actually I need to do it in a different browser. But you can get around paywalls by going to Google and looking at the cache directory. Let me see if it works on here. Google. And what was my search item here? Control C, and I'll put that into Google. And let's see, where's the article? Detroit Free Press. I'm not giving them my email. Not doing it. Okay, here it is right here. So here's the top story, and now I'm going to go to View All, and what I'm looking for is, unfortunately, it doesn't show here on this browser. It does in Safari, because if I go to this one and I try and click this link, watch what happens. Oh, great! I can read the article. So they opened it up. They opened up their paywall. So Tesla owner spends $160 driving cross-country in all-electric 2021 Mustang Mach-E. Up to 300 miles on a charge. Sergio Rodriguez finally decided just go for it. That's not what he initially planned. He was apprehensive at first. The military contractor flew from Jacksonville, Florida to San Diego to pick up his new 2021 all-electric Mustang Mach-E SUV at the Ford dealership on February 19th. Drove it around a few days, and then shipped it cross-country to his home in St. Mary's, Georgia, 2 hours south of Savannah. Finally, he didn't know whether the Mach-E would be comfortable enough to travel in for 2,428 miles. My 2013 Audi A6 is horrible. Yes, it's a midsize sedan. Yeah, I'm not. I used to like Audis, but not buying cars. I'm an SUV guy now. So he said the gas stations, or the electric charging stations were good. A feature that made the trip especially efficient, he said, is one shared by Ford and Hyundai that allows the vehicle to coast. It's called freewheeling. The less resistance the car has, friction, the less energy it uses. You can turn off the regeneration, and if you're going down a hill, the car will do almost a neutral phase. You just let it roll. You can coast to 80 miles an hour, and you're not using any fuel. So amazing. Imagine a gas, look at this quote. Imagine a gas car and putting it into neutral and not use gas. Tesla automatically regenerates as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, and it slows down. He's been waiting since he placed a Mach-E reservation back in November of 2019 and put one down for $500. I like this thing. I would love to have one. This is going to take market share, and this is why Elon Musk made this tweet. Who's he afraid of? forget the news. He's not afraid of GM. He's not afraid of Chrysler. He's afraid of Jim Farley and Ford. And he trolled. This wasn't really a troll. You know, they're looking at replying to the ARK funds and Kathy Wood and Elon Musk saying Tesla and Ford are the only American car makers not to have gone bankrupt out of thousands of cars. Remember, who didn't take the bailout money? GM took the bailout money. Chrysler took the took the bailout money. Ford did not. They did not take the buyout from the government to give ownership over to the government. They did not do it. So how does Jim Farley, the CEO, respond to Elon Musk's really compliment on Ford? Because he called him out specifically and said, buy Ford stock, buy Tesla stock. Respect, right there. Why? It's just a good company. I like the company. I like the stock. It's got a great story. It's got a great future. And if you're watching this for the first time, you probably never even heard of Jim Farley. Never knew he was a race car driver. Never knew his wife was in a band. Never knew that the Ford F-150 or that the Mach-E were cars of the year for 2021. Car and truck of the year. $12.93. So the 2 call options I just bought on Ford are up $192. The shares I own of Ford today, I'm up $1,750 on Ford today. All right. Okay, I've got 830 and still up 2.68% on the day. NASDAQ is up 0.62. Let's check those out here. Let me go backwards here. We've got the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 78 points, holding on to its gains. We got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 389 points, holding at 32,224. Again, the S&P, nice recovery off the bottom here. VIX went down, and that's about the area we started looking at Ford to make a purchase. And S&P 500 up 28.5 points on the day. So I hope you had that Ford story. I hope you liked that one. Maybe I'll be able to clip that and put it out, and I'll give you some explanation on why I like Ford. But again, they're not going to report earnings until April 28th, and the options that I purchased on Ford that expire April 16th are at $14 a share on Ford. That's the only trade I made this morning through all of this. So I did not do any volatility trades or try and do any scalping or swing trading, because we're in an uptrend in the market. So sometimes it's okay to just let your stuff run. And by letting your stuff run, what was I up earlier? I think I was up $10,000. I'm not up $10,000 now. I pulled back. But let's see overall where I'm at on the day. Oops, I went into my cryptocurrency portfolio. That's up nicely. Okay, let me get out of that. Let me go back into my... I'm pulling up my brokerage account on my phone. And so I went from being up $10,000 today and a little over 3.5% or so. I'm up $5,800 right now on the day. So on the accounts I track, I got some other stuff that I just leave alone. My long-term holdings, I don't even look at them. But up $5,800 on the day. The only thing I bought today was 50 call options at a strike price of $14 a share for the April 16th expiration. I paid $1.90 for those. I'm now up $192. So I got them at 41 cents. And they're now already up to 45 cents. So technically, I could sell out of those Ford options right now, walk away with $192, and I made my money for the day to pay my bills. But that's up, quite a bit right now, so that's doing well. Ford, I'll leave you with that for now. Okay. All right. So listen, we're going to be back a little bit later, right about noontime. On the Pacific, or 3 p.m. Eastern for Power Hour. We'll come back and we'll talk about what the markets are doing. but overall, we're looking pretty good so far. We'll see what happens. We're in lunchtime. This is lunchtime. This is what the markets tend to do, unless news comes out. Big news after the close. I'll probably stream it if I can. I don't know if they're doing video or not, but AMC reports earnings after the close. Let's look at the two that we follow there. GameStop up huge, up 27%. They're up $68, and they are approaching their new 52-week highs. This thing got up to 483. It's at 316. Incredible. Up another 28% today. AMC, I don't own any GameStop. I do own AMC. Up 11.72, up $1.22 to 11.7%. Bitcoin up again above 56,529, hitting all new highs again. Ethereum up to 1842, well above, holding that 1800 line pretty darn well there. It's flattened out very, very nicely above that 1800 range, which is good. Nice chart, looking good, well up at the VWAP, but trading above the 15,200. So we will be back in 2.5 hours. Or sorry, 3.5 hours. Yeah, 3.5 hours. We'll be back for Power Hour on the close. Until then, thanks for tuning in. If you see this on YouTube or Twitch, hit a follow. Ask a question in the comments. I'll reply to all comments. My Ford stuff goes back about a half an hour. So if you scroll back a half an hour, you're going to want to look at what I talked about with Ford, the reason why I like Ford. Good due diligence on them. They report earnings on April 28th. I bought 50 call options at $14 a share on Ford to expire on April 16th, which is a week or so before, a week and a half before, or a week and a half before they report earnings. And I'm already up on those, about $192 on those. And I own 5,000 shares of Ford as well. So I like the company. It's done great for me. New CEO, James Frawley, took over October 1st. The stock has doubled since October 1st. But look at that due diligence. Go back a half an hour. Look at what I said about Ford. And if you have any questions on it, I'll be happy to answer it. So that'll do it for now. We'll be back for Power Hour in 3.5 hours.